Okay,
There
well,
we go.
there we go.
So this is the VPX box I was drafting here. So now you can see the green, the green box. That's a Netscaler, and we call it as like you can say ADC. Okay, Citrix ADC, Application Delivery Control, right?
Okay.
So what the IP address you are going to assign your Netscaler box or virtualized box or hardware box, that will we call it as like Netscaler IP. Okay,
Okay.
and suppose you want to do the load balancing. So load balancing means suppose you have a lot of servers like server S1, and you have 10 servers like S10 kind of, from S1 to S10 servers, and you want to do the load balancing by using the capabilities of the Netscaler VPX box. So how you are going to achieve that? You have to create your VIP. So we call it VIP, actually virtual IP, okay. So there will be VIP, and VIP will be communicating with your backend servers like server 1 to 10 likewise, okay. And your subnet IP, three IPs we talked about, right? VIP, SNIP, and NSIP. So we do remember those things actually. So SNIP will be in the front end, and suppose any user sitting here, suppose user is here, user means your the end user, the production user, who is going to access these load balancing services, right? What we are referring here as example. So here is user. User will be accessing some URL kind of thing, right? Some URL, and that URL will be hitting to SNIP, that subnet IP of the Netscaler, okay? And what SNIP will do, it will directly contact to BIP, okay? It is not going to contact your backend servers. No, it will not contact to the backend servers. It will be communicating to it will be sending the request to VIP. And here, VIP role is very critical, right? It will communicate with the backend server, and there will be services, there will be monitors, which all will be configured with the VIP, and it will be, so there are a lot of algorithms, actually algos, like round robin and least connection and proximity based algorithms. So BIP is going to follow those algorithms which already you defined in the infrastructure, and it is going to manage like that, okay. So in that way, the end user is going to get what is required through URL. So any of the server from S1 to S10, user is going to connect that, and he's going to get his services delivered at the user end, right? And that will be secure enough, and that will be delivered to user through this will be the flow of traffic from the server to VIP to SNIP to user. Clear?
So the VIP is what regulates the balancing, right? Correct?
Yeah, so VIP is going to regulate the balancing, load balancing. Absolutely correct. Yeah,
And
absolutely got
that's
it.
the algorithms that are put into place is basically
Right.
what.
So
Okay.
yeah, it is going to, yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yeah.
Okay.
So Abdul, what I will do actually, I'm going to stop this demo session. Okay.
Okay.
And thank you so much for joining this demo of Citrix Netscaler ADC. It's really nice talking with you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Be there. Be there. It was just demo session. Thank you. Okay. So actually, I was recording for promotions also. Okay. That's why I was very
Okay.
professional. Don't worry. Okay, relax.
All right.
I know. That's why I was very professional. So don't worry. I'm coming to the special points. I know what are the basics from the start. Okay. So don't get scared off. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So let's talk about networking, the basic thing. This was for recording. Okay. And do you need the recording session or not?
Yeah, it would be good to have.
Okay, great. Sounds good. Okay, you are going to get recordings. Don't worry about that. Okay. So now come to our basics. Okay. So basic is IP address. Okay. few things I'll be writing here. IP address. Okay. Second is like MAC address. MAC. Third one is subnet. What is subnet? Mask. Okay. And the fourth, what is gateway? And fifth, what is host name? Okay. And the next one is so on. Okay.
Okay.
Dot. Okay.
All right.
So what is IP address, Abdul?
It's the Internet Protocol address. So that's
It be loud actually. Your voice is low. Yeah.
oh, the Internet Protocol address, which is the basic means of communicating to or to, I guess, how to get to your destination.
Okay. So yeah, you were explaining about the IP address. Yeah. Tell
So
me.
it's I guess the means of initially getting to your destination, I guess. So that's like the first part of getting to your destination.
Okay. So like you are in Houston, right? So there will be some apartment and there will be some flat number, right? Suppose there will be no flat number and there will be no apartment name or some area name or your the city and your the state and then your country US, right? So this is a division kind of thing, right? So there should be some address. If you're not going to get any address, so how I will reach to you? Suppose I'm traveling from India to US, right? I landed in Houston the airport. Now I have to book Uber and I have to reach your house, your apartment, right? If I don't have address, how can I reach there?
Exactly.
Exactly. Yes, you got it. So actually, so address is very important, and that is in networking also you should have IP address. If IP address will be not there, how one computer will communicate to another computer, right? How one laptop is communicating with another laptop. Same way, how mobile communication will happen. Getting my point?
So it's like the telephone number or the address of a certain destination.
Number, yes, mobile number, telephone numbers. So that is must. Without address, without IP address, how networking will work? How object will communicate to each other, right? So IP address is like networking address of any device. Clear? Okay. So what is MAC address?
MAC address is. Sorry, I'm just going through my notes as well as I'm doing this.
No problem, no problem. So don't worry, demo session is over. So don't worry, I'm going to explain you everything. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So Mac is like, okay. So you are using iOS phone, right? Okay. So there should be some physical address of that iOS number, and we call it as like some serial number or something. What we call it?
Okay, so the MAC address is what would be on like your network interface card, correct?
Yes, absolutely correct. That's a physical address.
So the serial
physical
number.
address. Yes, serial number or physical address, that is called MAC address. Okay.
And so the IP address, we can look at that as more logical, correct?
Yes, yes. And that the MAC address is like permanent address. Okay. It never changed. It will never change.
Okay.
Getting my point? So okay, let me give command here. One command is very famous, ipconfig. Okay. Okay, let's go for this one. Can you just explain me what are the things here actually?
Okay, so the IPv4 address, that is your address. The default
My
gateway.
my laptop address, right?
Sorry?
Uh,
The
192.1.
IPv4 is, yeah.
My laptop. I'm using my laptop, so the my laptop IP is 1.4, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, what is next? Subnet mask.
The subnet mask, yeah. So the subnet mask, I'm still a little confused on this. So let me tell you what my basic understanding of it is. I don't know if it's correct or not, but the subnet mask is basically a more standardized way to communicate the IP address to other machines.
Yeah, you are absolutely right actually. So just to avoid any congestion in the network, and just to make the IP address, the networking as a best use, as a best practices, we are going to use this subnetting actually. So within the network, we want to divide, we want multiple network. So why we need subnetting actually? Let me give you an example.
Okay.
So let's take example of any small company. Okay, the company, the small company has HR department, right? Company has accounts department. Okay, let me show you on whiteboard. Okay, that makes sense. So, okay, so I will draw here only. So suppose this is your company, and in your company you have HR department, okay, accounts, and you have IT, and you have admin, and here is your management. So when I'm calling management, that means owner of the company, CIO, CTO, any top,
Okay.
who is managing the company, those people will come into this management one. Okay. So suppose only one switch you have. Okay, one switch. Switch means that's a Cisco switch through which you are going to define your networking switch routers. You must heard about those words, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So switch is going to provide you IP address here and here, here, likewise, right? To all your departments, kind of. Okay. So the problem is, suppose you are not doing subnetting. If you are not doing subnetting, that means your this switch is going to provide networking to all the departments, right? So see, if month end is running and your accounts team has to release the payslip, the salaries of the employees, okay, and just think of it's a month end kind of or weekly. Just take example of US salary fund, like weekly payouts, bi-weekly payouts kind of. So suppose account team using a lot of networking bandwidth, and the people who are sitting in IT, admin, management, HR, they're saying, oh my God, my network is slow, Abdul. My network is very slow today. Why? Oh my God. Account team is releasing salary today for the employees. Oh my God. My network is very slow. So that's why we need subnetting. Means HR team will sit in different subnet. Getting my point?
Okay.
Account team will sit in different subnet. Likewise. Okay?
So
Likewise.
one's traffic doesn't congest everyone else.
Yeah, to avoid traffic congestion. Clear?
Okay.
And just to use the network smartly, we do subnetting. Clear? So far so good? So I'm explaining as a layman because I know you have to understand from the basics.
Sure.
Okay, so that's why I'm starting from basic itself. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the transformation from the 10 minutes before I was not listening you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a demo actually for recording because I have to do some promotions also, right? For
Sure.
Citrix NET Scaler. Yeah, okay, never mind. Okay, so IP address clear,
Uh-huh.
MAC address clear,
Mm-hmm.
and subnet mask is clear or not? Okay, what are
More,
the
sure,
how
yeah.
many classes? How many classes we have? How many IP classes we have?
5
I
IP
think
classes.
you not gone through with the IP classes and all those things.
No, I haven't had a chance to go through that yet.
Okay, so you can go offline, right?
Uh-huh.
And that you should know the IP class, how many classes we have, right? And what is the
Uh-huh.
range of the IP will come to in the class A, class B, class C. Okay, so
Okay.
these three classes are very important. ABC. We should know what is the range of the IP address of these classes. That is going to
Oh,
help you
okay.
to understand.
So A is like sorry, I think I might know this, but I so A is gonna be the more common known networks. I think B is gonna be the private networks, and C is everything else. Correct? Something along those lines?
No, no, no,
No,
no.
okay. Confusing that with
So
something else.
there is a respective ranges for the IP address. You have to go to online. You have to remember those things.
Okay.
Okay, clear?
Yes.
So majorly we'll use class C subnet, like we call it as like 25.25.25.0. This is a class C subnet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so subnetting you try to understand. If you're not able to understand, I will tell you how to, how to. I will explain you the subnetting part. You don't worry about that. I make
Okay.
you understand. Okay. Okay. So next is gateway. What is gateway?
So the gateway is some like a device like our router that allows us to uh, basically get into where we need to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. So suppose you're sitting in your apartment, right? You're sitting in
Mm-hmm.
your flat and you are connected with your Wi-Fi, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
same Wi-Fi has some gateway address. Okay. So let me see what is gateway address of my router. See,
Uh-huh.
this, this is the 1.1. Okay. 192.168.1.1. This is class B IP address. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the IP address, this is the subnet mask, and this is your default gateway. Clear?
Yes.
So these are very common things you should know to understand Netscaler. Else, Netscaler will be very tough for you. Okay. That's
Okay.
why I'm focusing more on basics first.
Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to type something here like host name. And same thing you can also do on your laptop if you don't mind.
Sure.
You have MacBook or Windows laptop.
I have a MacBook.
MacBook. So I'm not sure. I don't think this command is going to work on MacBook. Okay. So what is host name?
Host name is
Computer name. Simple.
okay. Yeah.
Computer name, right?
Uh-huh.
So the host name, I typed your host name, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is showing me this is my laptop. This is my company laptop. So this is the host name, or you can say computer name. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there is a concept of I did ipconfig. Another command I'm going to right here, ipconfig/all. Okay. Let's see what is the output. My God, too much. Can you explain me one by one thing? Okay.
Okay,
Start
so
from here.
the
Start
description
from
of
here.
physical address. So the physical address is your MAC address.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. What is next? Thanks. Next.
Okay. DHCP enabled. That is.
What is DSCP, bro?
DHCP is.
So DSCP is like Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, right? So that is going to provide IP address.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a service which is going to provide you IP address to your workstations, to your laptops. Clear?
Okay.
Okay.
Next.
And next thing, what is this actually?
That's your IP address.
Laptop IP address,
Yeah.
right? Okay. And this is subnet mask. Okay. And here we go. What is the default gateway?
That's your path into the connection.
1.1.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1.1. Okay. And this is the DHCP server, the IP address providing server. What is this, man? DNS.
DNS. I reviewed this the other day. That's your domain name system. So. So that's the address to the servers that you're connected to?
Yeah.
So it's the directory of the domain names.
Domain name system. So that is going to provide you host name to IP address to host name. So DNS is a very critical component of IT. It is going to resolve host name to IP address to host name. Okay. Same like you are going to Google Chrome browser, you are going to type there google.com, right? Or Microsoft.com. So that means DNS is playing a role, important role into that, resolving the URL. Okay. Make sense?
Yes.
So these terms, what I'm discussing actually, you should read those things actually offline. Okay.
Yeah, I'm writing all those things down.
Yeah. So you have to read it about these things because we have to move forward, right, from the basic to advanced of our basic networking. Then we can jump on Citrix NetScaler, right? Because NetScaler is a very complicated product. If you will not understand these basic terms, it will be very tough to make you aware about Citrix NetScaler things. Clear? Okay. So I think we talked about the main the networking terminology. Okay.
Okay.
So let's focus something on NetScaler now. How many IP addresses required for NetScaler?
How many IP addresses? We need.
Be loud, please. Yeah.
1, 2.
3, right? 1, 2, 3. The first one is NetScaler IP.
Okay.
Right? Now I'm slow, don't worry. And SNP, Subnet IP. And the last, not least, that is VIP, Virtual IP. So these 3 IPs required to configure your Citrix NetScaler, ADC, and also configure the services, as we already talked about. So the services like Access Gateway, right? And VPN, load balancing, GSLB, right? And firewall, router, switches, a lot of things actually. Unlimited options available with the Citrix NetScaler, but our focus should be as per our project requirement. So I'm going to conclude here. Okay, this is the first class.
Okay.
So I don't want to make it very complicated. Let it make very simple. Okay. So what we discussed today, we discussed about the NetScaler, the functionalities, what are the services available, how many IPs are required, right? What are the models available in the market, and how your communication will happen from user to your backend servers. So all those things we discussed, right? And also we discussed about some basic networking, right? What is IP address? What is MAC address? And what is subnet mask? What is DNS? What is DHCP? So those things are very basic in your NetScaler journey, Abdul. Okay.
Okay.
So you have to study offline. At least give 2 hours per day minimum.
Okay.
Spend 2
Yeah,
hours.
I'm gonna study all day today. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to gain a better understanding because it's
Right. So networking, your
10:30 a.m.
networking should.
here, so I'll be studying for
Mhm.
12 hours.
Yeah, right. So you have to focus more on that part, and also you can flag, you can raise your hand. Something somewhere I'm moving fast, and you're not understanding. Except that demo thing. Demo was very
Sure.
quick. I was very fast. I was very focused. I was very professional. But when I'm going to teach you, I'm going to train you. I know you came from the proxy background, so I know those limitations. And because I'm into this IT, since last this for US market since last 2 years, so I know each and everything. So you don't worry about that. So
Okay.
we'll take care of those things. We'll start from basic. Actually, I started from basic itself. You can feel that.
Yes,
Okay?
definitely.
So spend some time and just get familiar with the networking terminology, and we'll connect tomorrow, same time. Okay?
Sounds good.
Yeah. Thank you so
Alrighty.
much.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Take care. Bye, man. Take care. Bye-bye.